All right, we're back for another show, and today I've got Matt Wolff with us from the Ticket Time Machine. How's it going, Matt?
Everything's great, thanks. Glad to be here.
Staying safe down in Florida with all the chaos that the media wants to put out there about?
Yeah, we're trying. It's nuts down here. The numbers are rising. I pretty much just do the what's necessary.
Yeah, nah, better to be safe. Better to be safe. Well, kind of give us a little background of, your career over the years, and then really want to dive into the Ticket Time Machine and talk more about that. But kind of give us a little background to see how you got to that point.
Sure. So I've always been a big sports and entertainment fan. As I was in college, I wanted to actually be in the movie business, in the movie trailer business. Unfortunately, I wasn't the best student. I never got an internship. And so by the time I graduated, I was a little bit behind everyone. And it took me a while to find a job that was, what I wanted to do. And so, after 3 or 4 different jobs bouncing around, my dad told me to go into sales. And he always used to tell me to go into sales. But what I always thought was you have to be phony or pushy. And eventually I got into sales, and I realized you don't have to be phony or pushy to get into sales. And so I got a job with a company called Worldwide Ticketcraft. It was a ticket printing company. And so printing the tickets for all the events that you go to, was there for about 5 or 6 years, and then left, went to anti-money laundering sales, and then had an opportunity that arose where I was at a Marlins game, and Edinson Volquez throws a no-hitter. I have a mobile ticket. The box office says, come to the box office if you want to print a ticket. I go there. I say, can you put Edinson Volquez on the ticket, no-hitter? And they said that they can't. I've been in the printing business a long time to know that they can. They just don't want to. And that's how Ticket Time Machine was born.
Wow. So explain what Ticket Time Machine is.
So Ticket Time Machine is a commemorative ticket company. Everything's going mobile for whatever reason they want to tell you, but everything's going mobile. And we know that the fans and patrons want something printed, something tangible as a memory. So we want to be able to offer that to them, all the while offering the teams or venues or anyone an opportunity to generate revenue on that, as opposed to it used to being an expense.
So, you kind of got this thing rolling because of that special game, and you wanted to, have a piece of that history, and you couldn't get what you wanted on it, kind of. Right.
And so again, it's more of that people just don't want to do something. It's not that they can't do it. And I hear that word a lot. I'll let you know what I can or can't do. It's more about
it's easy to say no. You know what I mean? It's real easy.
So so we want to be able to provide it, and we'll be happy to do it. And it could be on a one-off situation. That's really what it's about. Like if you go to a box office, they're not going to want to print you one ticket from 3 years ago from this game, and we're happy to do it.
So what kind of quantities do you need to have in order to make a purchase with you?
So there's a lot of different programs that we could put, but ultimately when I'm running at the way I want to run, and that's going to involve licensing and partnerships, there's no limit. You can order one ticket from one game or one concert, or you can order 1,000 of them.
That's pretty cool. So you're geared more towards the consumer, but I think you also sell to teams as well, as to be able to do giveaways and some things like that.
Right. So in order to sell to the consumer, again, we need the licensing and the partnership. So right now, I really don't have permission or the ability to sell anything to the consumer. So right now I'm working with the B2B and working on, hey, I want to give our VIPs a special ticket, or I want to sell this special ticket for this historic and unique event that's going on right now for a live stream. So they can buy from me, I'll manufacture it, and they can sell it, and they can offer it to their sponsors, their brand partners. They can offer it to their customers, however they want to go about it.
And so what they would just do is send you the actual design from the tickets, and then you recreate that?
Yeah, so we're not always going to recreate a ticket. They might just design a special ticket for an event, or if you wanted something from the past, that we can actually recreate a ticket like the Woodstock tickets of old. Or if, for example, the New York Mets wanted to offer this to their fans, we could just do a Mets ticket, a really nice Mets ticket with foil and whatever they want on that, and it'll look exactly like a real ticket that they would provide, but it won't be an admission ticket.
What kind of turnaround time do you have for that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we can turn stuff around pretty quickly. I mean, if we wanted to do a whole new printing job, a unique custom job, less than 2 weeks. If I have the stock here, I can do it in a day because I'm just running it through a printer.
Is there a lot of competition in that field?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. So, to my knowledge, there's very few companies that are doing what I'm doing, which is customizing and personalizing for a special event. But obviously, I partner with printing companies out there. So, there are people who are doing the printing. Again, it's just a matter of who wants to do what I'm doing or what you're willing to do. So, everyone has the ability to do it, but they want to move away from the print job. And so, they have to buy the tickets and they have to staff the people. Whereas they can just come to me where it's already done. It's just a classic case of sort of paying someone to do because it's faster and it's what they do.
I just kind of noticed something, so I wanted to bring it up. Like, are the colors for the company because you went to University of Florida because you're a Gator, or how did you come up with the color scheme?
It was an easy choice for me. Everything I do is generally all the stuff I have is orange and blue, so it was an easy choice for me.
No orange and green, I guess.
Orange and blue.
No, yeah, I know. You just you live down in the Miami area, right?
Yeah. Well, I married a Cane, ironically enough, but she's.
Oh man, so you guys don't speak at least once a year then?
She's actually a big pro fan, so all the Philly teams. She's from Philly, and she doesn't really care about the Canes. She'll get mad if she listens to this, but it's the truth. So there's no house divided as you see out there.
Nice. Where are you? Are you from Florida as well?
No, I'm from New Jersey, Marlboro,
Okay.
New Jersey, right in the middle.
Yep. I know where it's at. Been there. What would you say are like your biggest like struggles or hurdles that you got to get over? Kind of take the business to the next level.
So it's really licensing and permission and getting the buy-in, being new. I used to always think that was a real asset, being the first to do something or being original. And I'm understanding that the people I'm talking to, they're not as willing to take that risk to look at the bigger picture. And so that's really the two biggest things. I've been getting a lot of conversations with a lot of people that I probably wouldn't have had an opportunity if it wasn't for the coronavirus and the shutdown and quarantine. So I think I'm in pretty good position once things do go, but just getting those first couple big wins. And I have some customers that I've done some events for, so I have some good samples to show and a portfolio, but getting that big win that other people will say, oh, you know what, maybe we should be looking into this also.
Yeah, no. And sometimes it's better to be number two to the market with something. Just because you can work. How long is it going to take you to work out all these kinks? Right. It's that's the challenge with being first. It's also very, in my eyes, I love the excitement of that and the challenge of that. To try, because you need to get it and scale it as quickly as you can, and it's always fun. But I've been the first, and sometimes it's not worked, and then sometimes I've been the first, and it's been a home run. So. It's fun. And
I think that if you're not going to be first, it's just a matter of also doing it. Who's going to do it the best, right? You can be the first, but if someone's going to come along and do better, then, it doesn't matter that you were the first there. I always think of the news stuff. Like I always want to be the first to report, but if you're the first to report and you got it wrong, how does that help? So sometimes patience is good. We'll see.
What kind of, plans do you have to kind of take it to the next level? Anything, so specific, or where do you need the most help?
Yeah, so that's a great question. What we're working on is to make the souvenir ticket market that's not just a souvenir ticket. It's going to have technology. It's going to engage in the digital world. So you can have, for advertising or activations or experiential marketing. You can engage your customer and you can keep them engaged. We're going to have some gamification involved with this. So it's going to be, I have this awesome looking ticket that I want to show everyone, but I want to share this information with them. So it's not just that I bought the ticket, it's that who else am I going to show? Who am I going to interact with? That is, something you and I have talked about before, something that's not really necessarily trackable. And so it's just going to be, the next big thing. Think about the card market, where it used to just be a card, and now you have a piece of a jersey and a piece of a basketball on, and maybe you put a little bit of a hologram or a foil. So, we're looking to change the whole game for ticketing and the collectible world, not just tickets, but collectibles.
Yeah, no, that's big. Will there be other products, or is there other products now that you plan to launch or already have?
Yeah, we're working on partnerships. Again, we're looking to do something in the trading card world. Have a conversation later today with a big player in that industry, and so there's really no limit. I think weddings are going to be huge for us. I did a ticket for my own wedding, but it could be
as like the invitation, or actually that's your ticket to kind of bring just a cool little thing.
Yeah, it could be the invitation. It could be the save the date. We do magnets, save the date magnets. It could be a party favor. It could be a table number. There's just a whole lot of ways that we can offer to the wedding. And then technology with that, being able to upload pictures to something. This is down the road once we have an app and everything going. But, that's definitely an avenue that we're going. What else can we do other than just a piece of printed material?
I was talking to someone about a month ago, and they have like it's, I don't know if you want to, it's not only wearable technology, but even like a card will have this chip in it that can pull up information. It's crazy. I'm going to have them on the show here soon.
RFID or NFC. That's really the direction that the ticket admission world is going into. But yeah, data can be pushed and technology can be activated from just a phone or a chip. That's definitely the direction that we're going in.
Is this the first business that you launched yourself?
This is, yeah, I would say it is. We've always had a little bit of an entrepreneur in our family, always trying to figure out what we can do. My mom was big into that. We went around the neighborhood painting numbers in bright letters on the curbs so the firemen and policemen can find the homes, because it was very difficult at night to find it. So we did that. We had this stain remover thing that my mom bought into that we used to sell at an outdoor auction in New Jersey. So when I left the ticket business, I actually was a broker for a little bit, just trying to help some people, but nothing that I thought was going to be, my career, my life like this. So I would say this is the first one where I've, gone through it. I've had a lot of ideas over the years and just kind of never did it, and really felt bad about that. You hit a roadblock and you just stop. And yeah. I said with this, I said, I'm not going to let anything stop me. And I just did it.
Well, what pushed you with this where the others, and it is tough, especially kind of that first time. It's like a leap of faith and, cash and time and not knowing what you don't know.
Yeah, all of that. Up until April 1 of this year, I had a full-time job selling anti-money laundering solutions. So I didn't have I always had, I had something to fall back on.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy at my job. I was looking elsewhere. I wanted to do something that I love. Anyone who knows me, I can talk about this stuff for hours and I just get excited about it. Whereas, there's not a lot of other stuff. If I'm not excited about something, you can tell. And so I just said, look, I'm going to go with it. And at the end of last year, I told my boss, I said, I want to see where this thing goes and I'm going to leave. This was pre-COVID. And as COVID hit, I said, I'm still going to go with it. And I wouldn't make I'd make the same decision if I could again. It's been great. I'm excited to where I'm going. I'm excited where I'm at right now today. And, it's just a matter of getting the right knowledge, finding the right people and companies to associate with who know this stuff. It's the same concept of what I'm doing. I'm trying to do for people what I'm good at. And I want to find the people who are good at whatever it is. It could be the social media aspect or the, some of the business aspect of it or the marketing or the PR, all of that, accounting, just finding the right people to align with and partner with and just be around, because just the conversations I've had have been, so helpful for me just in my journey here. And it's not anyone who I paid to tell me, it's not a consultant. And I offer the same, my advice, my coaching, my story, all of it. It doesn't come with a price. If you need help, I'm here to help you.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, just going back to what you said earlier in that segment there is, once you don't have that safety net, it changes things. I mean, it's whenever I always look at this, when you have that safety net, it's like, I think it holds you back some, because you have that, and it's like, just go with it. And for me, I've been mostly not having a safety net, which it's good and bad. I mean,
roller coaster.
It is, because you know what? A lot of people don't understand the grind of small business ownership. And, I've been riding high, man. I've been like in the ground. I've been up and down so many times. And
but you know that you're always going to be okay. And then if it's not, you go to the next thing. I mean, that's the thing about sales. People are not properly incentivized. And that's one of the big reasons why I left and started. In order to be properly incentivized, I'm incentivized every day. If I don't get out there and wake up and make those calls and make my product better, I'm not going to do well.
You're not going to eat.
So the salespeople, I think in general, just aren't properly incentivized to do well, and that's it. So not having the safety net to me is important. It's an important part of my hunger and my drive to get where I want to go. I'll be content. The success is defined a lot of different ways. I don't have to be a multi-million-dollar company to be successful. That's where I aim to be. That's where I believe I'll be. But I'll always still get to where I need to go to make myself happy and make the amount of money that I need to pay for all my habits, like traveling and sporting events and concerts and vacations. And, I just bought a NBA Jam arcade for my house. I mean, I'm
nice.
I don't actually ever I live within my means, but right. I also live within what I know I'm going to get. So I just, when I was making $35,000 a year, I was still doing everything I'm doing now. I'm just able to save more money now.
Yeah. That's the key. Stockpile that cash. And,
I know, sorry, don't interrupt, but one of the great things about COVID is for the people who do have income coming in, I've spent so little money since March, since I got back from my honeymoon and I've been quarantined. I mean, I've been able to save a ton of money, and I rarely have any money coming in from Ticket Time Machine. It's just, whatever money you come in, it's just amazing how little you can spend when you have nothing to do, that's one of the things that's great. But then you think about retirement, like how do you deal with it when you have nothing but time and to spend money and things to do that you want to do? So it's interesting, it's good now, but later, who knows?
Yeah. Well, another thing too, I always chuckle at is, like, people want to be in business for themselves sometimes so they can make their own hours. And for me, I mean, it's 24/7, really. I mean,
366.
Yeah. I can't afford to not, if somebody calls me on a weekend or emails me, I'm going to respond. But I do like the flexibility. Like, I just ended my position up here in Virginia, moving back to Florida in a few weeks. But the thing I didn't like about having a job, that was the first job since I was 19. So I've always been flexible. And it's just like, now I know, okay, well, I can bust my ass if I want to go to Key West for a four-day, weekend, or I want to take another trip, or because I know when I go to these places, I could still access my email, my phone,
everywhere, right?
If something's urgent, deal with it right then. Otherwise, hey, I'll be back in a couple days. And I like that flexibility, because it drives my wife crazy. Is I'll be like, Wednesday, and I'll be like, hey, let's go to Key West Friday to Monday. And you can't do that when you have a job, because you got to plan that stuff out. And
vacation days. I mean, that's a huge thing for me. I can tell you, growing up in Florida, standard is 10 days of vacation. I mean, to me, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I lost 2 jobs when I was unemployed, and I was unemployed for about, in between ticketing and the anti-money laundering, I was unemployed. I didn't have a full-time job for 2.5 years. And twice in that run, I had a job. I got job offer, and I said, look, I need more vacation. I'm willing to take it unpaid. And both times they took the job offer away, which is fine. It's a blessing. I don't want to work for them.
Yeah, got to be in the right spot.
You have to have the work-life balance. You have to have the ability. It's like, when I have the time, I don't have the money. When I have the money, I don't have the time. Yeah. And I've always been in sales, right? So if I don't sell, I don't make money. And you're going to fire me. But if I do, then what do you care if I'm gone an extra 5 days out of the year? And I'm always answering stuff even when I was not on my own on vacation. I had my cell phone. I would answer faster than most people would when they were working. So it's one thing that I will pledge. When I have an employee, it'll be like a minimum of 20 vacation days right from day one. Yeah.
I always, pretty much was flexible. It wasn't even a set amount. I just said, like, for sports, I typically own 2 teams in the same market for the last almost 10 years. And so the season's a grind and leading right up to the season. So I always preferred, hey, look, right when the season's over, why don't everybody take at least 2 weeks off and regroup, come back, check your email though, if you get a phone call, but hey, relax. So it's probably not a true vacation, but they all know at the end of the season, that's their time. And, don't do it right before the season starts or right during the season, unless we have like a big roads, thing. So it's a balance, but you definitely got to be flexible. And I think the one thing I've learned is, the way you treat your staff will come back to you, and that will be either good or bad, And so it's like, just think about that when you're doing it. Are you planning to, add staff? Like, what kind of people would you be looking for? And when do you think you'll be looking to do that?
Yeah, probably not in the immediate future. It's just because I can't sell anything. I'm really looking for partners, is really what I'm looking for. And I'm going to want to have an advisory board. I don't have any shares to give, so I got to figure out what that'll look like. But, marketing, social media, accounting, all that stuff is important because it needs to be done. And if you're not taking care of it as you go, I'm going to be stuck just for weeks and weeks trying to figure it out right before a deadline. And who knows what else I'm going to need to be doing then. So I'd love to, if I could do it, and I'd hire all the people. I've talked to so many good people. You've had the Free Agent Fridays. You know how many people that I've talked to that I would be like, I wish I could hire these people. They're great.
Oh yeah.
How anyone let them go is beyond me. It's crazy to me. But I would say at some point next year, maybe bring on number 2.
What kind of partnership?
I have 4 interns right now.
Okay.
They've all been great. I think it's beneficial for them because I kind of just let them do what they want. And everything they do is going to be helpful for me. But I can envision one of them being part of the Ticket Time Machine team down the road. They'll always be part of Ticket Time Machine. It's kind of like sports. Once you're on the team, you're always part of the team, and I'll do whatever I can for you. But I would say next year, I would hope to start to have the ability to bring some more people on.
What are you looking for partnership wise? Are you looking to have somebody come in as part owner with you?
No, I'm looking for partners. It's really funny because the partnership to me just means, hey, we're on the same team. We're looking at the same vision. We align with the same views. And that's really it. And wanting to work together, whether it's work together on a project or work together on a mission. It could be something for social justice, social responsibility. It could be a project. You offer something that I want and I offer something, and we just combine what we're good at and we put it out there. Revenue share type things. But most of the stuff I'm trying to do is just allow the people to have, first and foremost, let the fans have what they want, something in print, and then let whoever I'm working with have the opportunity to get the lion's share of the revenue. Most of the programs that I want to enter into in partnerships is going to involve them getting 80% and me maybe getting 20%. So, that's what I feel strongly about, is that it's their stuff, and let them reap the benefits of it. And I'm just helping them get where they need to go.
I think now is your time to strike with this, though, because I know in my role as VP of sales, I mean, it was less busy. I mean, I had less appointments, so I had more time to look at stuff. Now, I wouldn't have bought now, but you could start looking and committing for stuff for next year. I mean, because now's the time when teams are going to start planning out their promotions.
Absolutely.
They're going to plan out kind of their giveaways and different stuff. But I mean, I think even, for, your full season ticket holders, could be a special commemorative ticket that a team gives away.
Yeah,
so I think
one of the things that we can do with the season ticket is especially think about, now that I'm paying for a season ticket and I have to pay to print, maybe I don't want all 40 home games or 81 home games or even 10 home games. So you'll have the ability to get 4 of them, and someone else wants all of them, and someone wants 2. The customization, the personalization, they're going to have to offer fans printed tickets. I mean, no one can go 100% mobile now anyway. They don't have the capabilities of it. The Wi-Fi is bad. So they're going to have to do it. Now it's just a matter of where do they want to focus their resources on? How do they want to do it?
Have you thought about talking to any of the ticketing companies that are focused on going all digital and saying, hey, we love the all digital thing. It's great. Let's get everybody all digital because you're going to sell a lot more.
Yeah.
But hey, I'd like to partner with you and offer a commemorative ticket to your clients that are just digital. And that might be a good way to kind of connect. I don't know if you've tried that or not, but just thinking from hearing what you're working on. I know.
Yeah, I have some good relationships with the ticket software companies and the ticket printers. Ultimately, that's the goal. I think the problem is they still have to sell it to everyone else as they're doing it. And it's probably better or easier for me to sell it than to them. And because it doesn't matter, we're ticket software agnostic.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter who you use. It doesn't even matter if
Right.
you sell tickets. You don't even need to sell tickets to use Ticket Time Machine.
Right.
It could be a free event that, you just have people go to that they want to remember for whatever reason.
I was just talking with SeatGeek not that long ago, and I guess they're already in the space as far as primary ticket company. Obviously, their main thing is the secondary, but they're getting into primary ticketing, and that is their ultimate goal, is to be completely digital. And for our team here in Virginia that I was with, we needed a ticketed solution for at least the short term. But I think they're already with a few NFL teams and a few other teams. But I've seen some NFL teams go all digital. So I definitely think there's a need. It's just a matter of connecting with the right people. Always. And it's like anything, right? In sales, it's all about relationships and getting connected with those people. And I think for me, I've connected more with people in the last 90 to 120 days than I probably have in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's even been better quality, relationship building. So, and I see it firsthand every time. There's just it's the way. So getting connected with really marketing and the ticketing departments are what I see. So
now is the time. I think I'm always this way. I'll talk to anyone, anytime, but with everything going on, people are more receptive. Their schedules allow it, but they're more willing to do it. I mean, no one is too busy to have a conversation, especially if it's something that could really help them or help you. So I'm always going to be that way. I encourage everyone else to be that way. I can tell that you're that way, but the window is going to close, because once everything goes back to, people, I'm not going to say normal, but, back to the way it was, and it will get back to the way it was. You're going to find it more difficult to get in touch with the right people. I mean, I think the other thing is people get caught up too much in what their title is. Like, I'm the CEO, you need to talk to my assistant or talk to this. And that's fine. I'll talk to them. Yeah. But I'll never be someone who is unreachable. Like Jesse Cole of the Savannah Bananas posted something, say, look, my people need to know that they can get in touch with me. So here's my phone number and here's my email. And it's not hard to find that information for me.
Exactly.
I'll always be that way. And I'll always reply to all my messages. And, you know, it's good that I can do it right now, but it's bad that I can do it right now. I look forward to the day when it's going to be a challenge for me. And I'll have an assistant who's going to say, look, you need to reply to this.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll do it. I'll reply to it, and it'll be me on my Instagram, on my Twitter, my email, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's got to be, you know, be authentic. It just takes time, and just managing that and prioritizing, and what can someone else handle for you, and what, you know, what can't they? So
time management has always been something that to me has been my strongest suit. Time management and the follow-up, which is really the two things you need to do in sales. It's just really, you're a customer service person who makes the sale call. The only difference between me and someone who's in a call center, you know, I'm going out to you, try and explain to you or listen to what you need. And then with the knowledge I have, say, hey, okay, here's how I can help. And that's, you know, sales gets a bad stigma. A lot of stuff get bad stigma. And some of it is warranted. I mean, I'm at a company I was just at, there's plenty of people who are very pushy and phony, and they're basically used car salespeople who did very well, because some people can't look at that and see. But, you know, I think there's no one way to be successful at it. It's just a matter of what are you comfortable with? And I wasn't comfortable that way. I never will be. So just be true to yourself and be authentic, like you said. A lot of people out there who I believe aren't, even though they pretend to be. And these are people that you know and you see. They're the influencers that everyone's following. You know, I can't even tell you how many people that believe in something, but when I reach out to them to say, hey, how can I help? It's crickets.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find the people that, you know, back up what they say and do. And, you know, I mean, I think that's a key to having long-term success, is you need to be genuine. You need to, you know, I mean, with the Free Agent Friday thing, in my mind, it was going to be one a week and wouldn't have been bad, like time-wise. But there's so many people that need help. I want to help them all. And so it takes a lot of time. I mean, it like this past week, I think I put 13 out. It takes me at least 30 minutes, even if it's a 10-minute segment. Some are 20 minutes. Got to edit. I talk to them pre the show and post. So that takes up, you know, another 5 to 10 minutes. And it doesn't sound like a lot until you're doing, you know, a bunch of them. But when you hear somebody got a job, or, you know, you see how many people you're able to help, man, it's very fulfilling. And so
I do phone calls, brainstorming calls with people that I see are looking for work, and just the gratitude that they have on the other end of the phone when you start talking to them about how can I help. The same thing you're doing. It's just, I don't even know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll get a job. Maybe it'll be because I help, but just to be able to help people, because
be positive.
I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am without help from a lot of people. We all got help to be where we're
always. At. Yep. Yeah. And that's where I tell these people looking for positions, especially the kids coming out of college. It's like, reach out to these people who are in the role you want to be in. I said, half of them probably won't even respond. I said, but you know, a good portion will. And I said, just remember that as you grow your career and give back.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to see, like, you know, somebody thinks they're too good to respond back to a kid in college or coming out of college, and I get it. You don't have, you know, unlimited time, but at least a message back, at least
to reply.
A little 10-minute call, 5-minute call, even just to say hi and, you know, try to build that. But it's kind of sad that not more people are open to that. But I mean, my schedule is busy. I mean, I own or have involvement in probably half a dozen businesses. You know, a lot of them I'm kind of behind the scenes, but I work all the time. If I can, I will. If not, I'll let them know, like, hey, it's going to be like 2 weeks, or can you do it right now? You know, sometimes, you know, I did a recording yesterday because they were like, they emailed me Saturday night at like 10, 11 o'clock. And I was like, hey, you know what? If you want to do it, I'll do it Sunday at this time. And, you know, they jumped on it. And so it was good. I was able to get 8 shows done for this upcoming week. I'm traveling, so it helps my time.
Yeah,
You know?
put me on the schedule for 3 months from now. I don't care, but don't tell me you're busy 3 months from now every day. You can't.
Yeah, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all I need.
Like, do it a year from now. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Just let's put something on the calendar, and if something comes up, something comes up.
Well, Matt, I want to thank you for joining me. Let's keep in touch. I want to see the journey. I consider you like a startup business, right?
Yeah.
A year or two
absolutely.
into it. So I love startups. I love to see them grow. I think it's the best time to learn about yourself and the business. So keep in touch, and I'll be following your progression.
No, I appreciate you giving me the time to talk here, and any way I can help, let me know.